Oh no, I haven't got it set up. No, I do. I've just got to go back to the. I was going to go back to the chat. There we go. Let me make sure it looks all good. Looks good to me. All right, everyone. Welcome again to the sixth episode of Let's Talk FGC. Today's elder god is South Africa's OG Kahn, the man who's been there since the beginning. He's done the rounds mopping in multiple South African and African tournaments, and he needs no introduction. Cho Kahn, how's it going, my guy?
Yo, what's good, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, my man. Been really excited for today. It's been a long time coming, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you sent me the message, I was it's obviously it's always very nice when somebody acknowledges you, and then it's like, okay, we want to do like this talk and stuff, and then I start feeling nervous, but
No, there's no need to be
it can only be
nervous.
good. It can only be a good thing, eh?
Yeah, it can only be a good thing. So for anyone that's joining in today, today's format is a first to 10 question and answers, a Q&A between me and Mr. Khan himself. I guess you call it a somewhat deep dive into what the FGC might not know about you, and
hmm
your views, some interesting topics along the way. So,
hmm
well, like I said to you before, we're going to do a little bit of an icebreaker. So before we go into
Okay.
question one, I want to mention a small story of how I met Brandon Shokan. And some people might know of this tournament, some people might not know, but there was a fairly large tournament that happened after MKX Cup in South Africa at a place called Geek Fest. And I came fourth there actually, so it's probably my highest placement ever. So like I use that as like my go-to. um,
A Geek Fest was OD though. Geek Fest was OD. That was a
yeah,
really good time.
yeah, we had a lot of people there. Eh? So I got taken
Yeah.
out by one of the Terry's brothers. I think it was the guy that played Scorpion. I can't remember his name. It wasn't
Tristan.
Tristan. Yeah, it was,
Terry's younger brother, I believe. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. He took me out. Yes, damn it, fucking, Scorpion was full on 50-50 mix up. You were dreaming if you thought you know what was coming.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was
anyway,
crazy. It was nuts.
anyway, the moment that was funny for me was we were speaking outside, having a smoke, having a beer, whatever, and I was like, "What difficulty do you play the AI on?" And you were straight up like, "Very hard." You didn't even blink, like nothing. And I knew I was
Yeah.
playing. I knew I was playing AI on medium, and I was straight up like, "Yeah, I do too." So, so here's the truth, brother. I lied, okay? And I need you
Okay.
to know, and I'm sorry. Okay,
That's fair. That's fair.
I lied.
I don't
And
think I remember this moment very
I
well.
know it's because I remember thinking about it afterwards. I was like, fuck. And then later on in life, you got so good, and I was like, dude, this guy's gonna know. This guy's gonna know one day that I was a scrub. Better tell him. Better tell him. So
Nah, it's not
yeah,
like that at all.
I know for sure. Anyways, let's go straight into question one. So
hmm
question one is a staple over all of my Let's Talk FGC episodes, and I want to hear about your intro into the FGC and competitive fighting games mainly. Give me the long story of where you started as a kid to where you are now.
Okay. In terms of fighting games, it goes way back, dude. I remember my brothers and the crew and like all of those guys and stuff that you met at like these offline tournaments and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So basically I was the little kid like always
yeah.
in their friend group or whatever. And we just used to do things like they all love video games, right? So that's where my love of video games comes from.
Yeah.
Like my inspiration for loving games and wanting to be good at games, it comes from them, like purely because we would just chill sometimes and just play video games at home for like hours and hours. And then there's a story I remember where we all met up for like by the or like let's say it was still the beginning of the friendship, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we all just met up, and at that point like everybody kind of knew me at that point. I was still the little brother, but
Okay.
everybody kind of knew me at that point. And we went to go get something to eat, and like how the stores were like in smaller areas and like locals and stuff where you could get like uh they used to like fry stuff like chips and bologna and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And so there was a there was a Street Fighter Alpha 3 arcade
yeah.
in that store. And so we went to go order food and whatever, and then it was like, okay, we got like 1 coin because like we spent the rest of the money on food.
Yeah.
We got like 50 cents, and like we got to finish this game, right? So we popped the coin in, and like basically we would choose like a character that like everybody knew how to play with, kind of. So it would be like the Shotos, like Ryu, Ken, or like
Yeah,
Akuma or something. So everybody knows how to play with them.
yeah, yeah.
So you basically get like a round each, and we would just like finish the arcade, or we finished the arcade that way. And if you were the person that lost, like that was going to be a bad day for you, because basically that 1 token that we had is like, it's gone. Now we gotta wait for the food because now we got nothing to do.
That's such a cool story.
Yeah, so that's like the beginning
Humble
of
beginnings.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, fighting games are actually fucking amazing. Like, I actually want to get these games like at home and get good at them, and like that was it, you know. So then from then, it just started like we started growing like with the gens and stuff. Obviously, they were playing games way before I was. I was just young, and like if you think about that time frame as well, like my earliest memory of being in an arcade and it was Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you already think about that, like that was not so early in
No.
like fighting game history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like where my love of arcades like stemmed from. So that happened. We got like consoles and stuff at home. Actually, initially it started with like emulation. What do you call them? Emulators.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like on PC.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like basically, I was like on a mission to like find every single fighting game ever,
Yeah.
and like I got like the MAME emulators and like every bit of like data or whatever I could gather up, or like back then like internet and stuff was a little bit harder to get
Yeah, that's for
your
sure.
hands on and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So then like every chance I had, like where there was free net and that type of thing, I would go download some ROMs.
Yeah.
For like MAME 32 and like get like all the Street Fighters. I would get like the King of Fighters,
I was
like
about to
everything
ask
that
you if
was
you did
on
King
those.
of Fighters, because that's the ones I did on Main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Okay.
for real. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like those, and then I found MK, and I was mind fucked, bro. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't, like this game was everything you wanted it to be, dude. There was all different types of characters.
So
like,
which MK did
you
you
get,
start
like,
with?
I think it was MK2, if I
MK2.
remember right.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see MK1 before the time, but I think when I saw MK2 and then I'm not sure what happened, but I saw it and then I was like, okay, so you have to remember like these secret inputs to do like a fatality, and then it was all like that, like super cool stuff. So I was like, well, this game is like crazy cool, and like there's like a character for everybody, and I loved it. That you get like your Bruce Lee character, and there was like Johnny Cage, like the cool guy with the glasses, and then he had like the shadow kick, and it was so fucking cool.
Well, saying that, so still rocking
yeah.
Johnny. Still rocking
Yep,
Johnny.
yep. To this day. Obviously, I love the OGs as well, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They were like the beginner level, I guess, characters at the time, or at least that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then like I got those emulators, like I was saying. Then I got like MK3. Then I got UMK3, and yeah, it was amazing. I loved every single minute of it. I made sure that I learned every single fatality in that game. I knew everybody's moveset. I knew how to play with every single character. And then I had this, like, also this guy was like one of my brother's friends, and he kind of wrote me this Bible, so to speak, like an MK Bible,
Yeah.
for Mortal Kombat Trilogy,
Okay.
that had every single, basically the entire moveset of the game, because you couldn't get that stuff back then,
Dude,
right?
you basically had
So-
like the codes to laugh. back
Yeah,
then.
yeah. I had the book to life, bro. It was OD. So he
Dude.
like gave me this Bible. Essentially, we called it like the MK Bible.
Yeah.
And then it had everything in there. I learned, because the brutalities were the hardest at that time, like trilogy times, that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I would just like sit there and like look at that book, and like, because there was no practice or anything, so you kind of had to play the game to, like, there's no practice fatality or whatever, like that shit didn't exist, you know.
Exactly.
So you had to like kill the AI and you had to pull off that crazy brutality or whatever. At the time, I was mind blown. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is like nuts, bro. I gotta learn all of this shit.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning. That was the beginning
It,
of like my love for fighting games.
the love for fighting games. I'll tell you what, it's always so awesome to hear like a community based kind of thing, because my kind of intro was kind of similar in the fact that I was playing with my brothers and his older mates and stuff like that, and it was like that thing of
Hmm.
like, I better fucking get good so I can beat these guys.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like you would get, and then the thing is, you would level up past them. And I remember the first time, like I beat my brother's neighbor who stayed down the road. He'd always come up and play Tekken with me, and he would always play that like sumo wrestler dude. And he'd always
Hmm.
call him Lamb Chops, and I fucking used to catch me every time he used to smack his hands together. He'd always be like Lamb Chops, and it would, you know, that like the thing of like sitting next to someone, you know, like it would get in your head, and like
Yeah,
I couldn't then play Panda properly because I loved to play Panda just because he was like ridiculously big. And
yeah,
I always thought that for me when playing Tekken Panda was like, because he's big, he's going to be better. That definitely wasn't the
yeah,
case.
yeah.
Oh, why I chose like super low tier when I was a kid. I don't know why. Anyways, that's cool though. That whole community of, you call it like a little bit of a brotherhood. Hey, growing up with
Yeah,
it.
essentially, that's exactly what it is. Like
When,
still today,
yeah.
still like my best friends. They still love video games, but none of them want to play fighting games with me anymore. So
You
that's the
really
only
are.
downside. That's the only downside.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
it's like, oh, like Show is gonna be playing. Like, okay, then I'm not gonna play now. Like, we'll play later when he's not playing.
We'll play when he's not
I was
playing.
like, okay, bro. But
So what?
they handle it really well though. Like when we chilling and stuff, they do want to play. They do want to get better.
Yeah,
And but I think sometimes it just gets to them because like I live and die by these games, you
I
know.
know. I
And
know.
they're just probably thinking to themselves like, this fucking kid, dude, he's just fucking playing these games all
That's it.
day. And like, you know, it's just it's
I,
one of those things.
I definitely think one of the other questions will kind of get based on that, where we talk about, you know, different levels of competitive nature versus competitive with casual. But we had this discussion, me and Killjoy, is that, you know, how far do you go until it stops becoming fun? And that's where we'll talk on to about it later. But before we get onto that, what
Okay.
was your introduction onto the competitive scene, though? What was your big introduction? What was your first event, and who did you meet, and how did it go?
Oh, okay. So that was all news to me. Like obviously I continued to follow these games, but the only people I had ever played was my brother and like his friends, which are now like my best friends also, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically we would get like all the new gen games and like I remember we had a bit of a Tekken phase as well. So I think initially probably Tekken was my first competitive like experience when it came to fighting games.
Yeah,
Um, so basically like we would have like an old school King of the Hill like whenever I visited.
yeah,
So it would be like, okay, like you get the controller, we do like we used to make it like I believe it was like unlimited time and like 5 rounds or something, so that we felt it was fair. Like if you lost, then okay, like
yeah,
you
yeah,
lost, you
yeah,
know, like you have to pass the controller,
yeah.
like that type of thing. And so like we used to do that stuff, and then like that's when I used to like go home and then be more like, okay, I'm gonna put this game on. I'm gonna learn all these combos. And if this guy tries to do this to me one more time, I swear he's gonna get punished for it. I swear. And that's kind of how it happened. Where it was like we would play offline King of the Hills, by like my friends' houses, by my houses, or by
Yeah.
my house, and we would just like pass the controller and just have like the best time. Like I remember we also didn't drink for quite some time. Like I hadn't experienced alcohol
Yeah,
just yet then,
yeah, yeah.
and they weren't much like they weren't much like drinkers either. So basically, that was our like time that we spent
That
like
was
doing.
our
We
hangout
played video
time.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
dude.
That was our thing.
See, that
So
was,
that was like
yeah,
the first competitive experience I had.
yeah,
And then I did overcome that type of thing, and then I became like pretty decent at Tekken as well. Like, well, in like those levels that I
yeah.
thought was pretty decent.
Until you go
Like
into an
nowadays,
offline.
nowadays it's like, yeah, it's like you're not even decent until you can like, like do some shit.
Yeah,
And
Tekken's on
then
another level of skill, dude.
yeah, yeah,
I really
it's
want to get back into it. That'll be a conversation for another day. I mean, you can have a call about me trying to get back into
yeah,
Tekken. And
yeah,
then your first offline competitive, like actual tournament, which one was that?
yeah. So that had to have been the MKX Cup. So I don't even think people knew I was there. I was pretty invisible. Um,
Lurking, eh?
yeah, just kind of moving around. I was like, okay, there's an MKX tournament. Like one of my, I think it was Nico. You remember Nico,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know Nickel
So
very
he
well.
was like, yeah. So he was like, dude, like there's an MKX tournament. Like let's all go. You know, like we've never done this type of thing before. Like we say that we're good at these games or whatever. Let's go and actually see how good we are against like people who kind of take this seriously.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, that's so
So we
cool.
kind of rocked up there. Yeah, yeah. It was a whole new world for me, dude. It was a whole new experience for
It's
me.
like we literally
Uh,
cloned. We literally cloned each other because I had Gaza and Aiden, my cousin, Balthazar. Some of them might remember. He was the
yeah,
absolute
I remember
live
Gaza really well. Gaza's a god, bro. That
dude.
guy's so funny, bro.
Gaza is he is
That's
my love and
hilarious,
blood. Every
bro.
time I get to see him, we always have a laugh. He's still freaking playing Katana. Though dies by her still. I mean,
It's good to see the
art department
loyalist.
will be quite happy with that one. But yeah, they I sent them the matches from last night actually on yours on FGC Africa that you were commentating, and they were like, oh,
Okay.
because Gaza still plays, but he's on Xbox.
Oh yeah, still living and dying by Xbox as well.
Still living and dying by Xbox. But as I was saying, exact same
Hmm.
clone. You know, me and us three used to hang out, play some games, drink some beers, and then I told him about the tournament when I was working in Randburg, and I said, guys, this is MKX Cup. We're always playing at home. Why don't we just go
Hmm.
do this together? And that was also,
Hmm.
fun enough, my first
Okay.
offline
So very, very
tournament.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
Basically the same, actually.
yeah, basically exactly the same, which is so cool to hear.
Hmm.
And how did you experience the first cup? What was your initial response?
So like we got there and stuff, and then I think there was a bit of a problem with the registration. There was a lot of players, and then they were like, "Okay, you guys can play, whatever, whatever, whatever." And then I was just like, "Okay, like I just really want to show some people that I kick ass, you know." So like now's the time, you know. Like now you gotta show people like what you've been doing, like why you or are you good at these games actually, you know.
Do you remember who took you
And then
out?
like I remember I remember it took me
It
out.
doesn't forget.
I will never forget.
Who was it? I don't know.
So basically, it was Terry. It was Stefonta that took me out of the MKX
Oh
Cup.
no! Oh god, he's
Funny
probably
enough,
never let you
yeah.
let that down. I bet.
I bet he still thinks about it today. I bet he still
I bet
thinks
he
about it
knows. He's like
today.
that one moment.
And for a long time, he was the strongest, like in our community.
Dude, that's that.
Terry. I don't know if you remember.
I clearly remember because I fucking hate
Yeah.
Devora to this day. It's like how
Yeah.
I hate. Like I haven't even picked it up since MKX, MK11. I'm like not a chance. Though. I'm not touching the
Yeah.
Devora.
Yeah, so I done pretty well, like in what you would call, I think they were doing like single elimination or something, I believe,
Yeah, I
something
think
like
they
that.
did like a round robin-y thing. I remember from what I remember.
Yeah, I don't think I remember too well, but I
Yeah,
know
it was hard.
I lost one of my three games, and one of those games was to Terry, in the round robin thing. Or I think I remember. I think you are. I do remember it that way. And like this was my first experience to like somebody zoning me.
Oh fuck
And I
yeah.
didn't know what the fuck to do. Like this guy just kept tossing stuff at me. There were things going off on the floor. Like I was like maining reptile at the time. I was like, bro, isn't this like cheap, buddy? Like, do you feel like that
Yeah,
you're
do
winning
you
this
feel
game?
good
But
at yourself? Yeah.
do you feel happy right now that you're zoning me out, bro?
Oh yeah.
Um, and I was like, that's so cheap, bro. Like and that's like I think also the staple in my playstyle today when I think about it now subconsciously
Mhm.
is that like I always thought I would never believe in zoning, but I grew as a player,
Yeah.
and I started to realize that these things are strategy, and you exploit like your opponent's weaknesses, and if they can't deal with something like zoning, or like nowadays there's matchups and like
Yeah,
tiers and
yeah.
all that stuff,
Counter picking
so
for
like
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like I understand that like I understood that a bit later than I should have, I think,
It's
because I was still adamant about it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna zone. I'm not gonna win this way, and
it
I
shows you
just believe
the.
that for like all the time.
It's so cool to see the growth of us, though. It's like I mean I know for a fact that over this time I had no idea what the fuck an option select was, or what a whiff punish
Hmm.
was, or a counter,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a cross
None of
out.
those things.
I
None of
knew
those
fuck
things.
all of that, and you
Yeah.
learn that over time. And now it's like you look at your baby FGC person, and you're like, oh, you were so cute. You really were, you.
True. It's
Dude,
true. It's true.
I'm gonna move us on to the next one because this is we kind of
Okay.
covering a lot of the same topics as we go. But
Oh, okay, okay.
question two on the first half of our
Hmm.
first five was, as someone who's competed in quite a range of games. I know that you competed in Pokken tournaments. That's kind of a funny one.
Yeah, yeah. That was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, MKX, MK11, Injustice 2. What was your favorite tournament moment? Now, I have a personal favorite, okay, of yours, because
Mhm.
obviously I
Of
followed,
mine. Okay.
I followed your, obviously you're
Okay.
competing, and my
Hmm.
favorite moment has to be when you beat Parasurama at the Injustice 2 Championship,
Yeah.
and the brother held your hand up in support, and it's such a
Yeah,
favorite.
that kind of that kind of makes me cry, bro.
Dude, it's such a
Yeah,
favorite
that
moment of
was an
mine that
amazing
I
moment.
actually
Yeah,
got a picture
that's
specifically for the stream. Here it is on
that's my
screen for anyone that hasn't
that's
seen this.
that is my top fighting game moment like ever. It's a fact, like without a doubt.
Like,
Like because it's such a weird thing. Like if you look at like me and somebody like Parasurama, like it's it's I mean I wouldn't say we don't have common interests because we do, but like it's somebody like that I never thought I would ever meet, like from this whole other world of like, like he's like a doctor and he's like this important person, bro, and then like you come together and then like we both love MK, right?
yeah,
And it just like our friendship just got like crazy close, and like we became like best friends. Like in the FGC, I don't think there's anybody that's a better friend to me than Para, like
yeah.
without a doubt. And
Shout
like
outs
for
to the
that specific
doctor.
tournament, shout outs to the doctor, bro. He is fucking god. Like
Yeah,
and like when I think about it, it's like it's crazy because for that same tournament, like we prepped together for that entire tournament. Like we said, okay, like this is what we're gonna do. We worked on matchups. We looked at like certain characters that we have issues with. We like spent hours in the lab together, just
yeah.
like figuring stuff out. And like for like it was crazy because like I knew in my heart like that when I beat him, like I felt bad for winning that
Dude,
game. Like I actually felt bad because I know how much time and effort we put in because we put that time in together,
yeah, you did,
you
hey?
know?
Dude, that,
And
yeah.
like for him to be like such a champion, dude, and like lift up my hand and be more like, "This is your champion," dude. Like I wanted to cry, bro. Like
Dude,
I couldn't believe it.
so yeah,
Like
look,
honestly.
that's my favorite moment because I had followed you guys. Obviously, I'd been chatting to you guys while you guys were playing Injustice 2. Because maybe we spoke the other day. I was saying, oh yeah, shit, that was around the same time that I had bought Injustice 2. That's my favorite moment. I'm glad to hear it's one of your favorites. Any other
It
favorite
is.
one that we might not know of?
That one is my favorite moment, eh? There's nothing like especially like the offline competing offline. There's nothing like it. So
Yeah,
and like I would like to say like even like when we had the ACGL season 1 of MK11,
yeah,
when it was like me and Justin in grand finals, like that whole trip like kind of opened up and like the community like flourished, and
yeah,
that was also like an amazing moment because I got to meet Zaza, I got to meet Justin, I got to meet Mark, and I was already like best friends with like Para and stuff,
yeah,
and like all these other people that I knew so well but had never met them, like Tondo, like I am Grooti, and like I
yeah.
met all these people, and like Zaza and I became like best friends like overnight, bro, and like his manager as well, like Prince, and it was crazy because we all just love video games. That's all it
Yeah.
came down to. We all just love video games,
This,
and like that was an amazing moment for me in terms of the community
yeah,
and seeing how amazing everybody in the community was,
exactly.
um, and just like getting to know them and like play games together and have a drink together was just like it's an experience I'll never forget,
Dude,
like honestly.
see, that is exactly
uh,
why I fucking do this show. That is the exact reason. The exact reason. I mean, I've met all of you guys. There are many of the people that I've interviewed I've met before. Well, I hadn't met Z and I hadn't met Killjoy, and within an
mhm.
hour conversation, I feel like that little common thing that we know that we love fighting games makes us going to be bros for life. It's
Yeah, yeah,
such
definitely.
such such a cool thing. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you haven't thought about getting into fighting games, the FGC as a community
Do it now.
is one of the best
Do it
fucking
now.
things you'll do in your life. I promise you that.
100%. 100%. There's nothing like it.
And
Honestly, there's nothing like it.
exactly. Talking about FGC in Africa as it currently
Hmm.
stands, we've got a lot of things going on at the moment, which is so awesome. We've got Combat Africa, we got the Quarantine Combat, which the Zambians did recently on Friday. We got that console combat.
Hmm.
Can't remember the exact name. Yeah, we got the Salt series with Charlie Wolf, and obviously we got my little podcast.
Hmm.
All these online exclusives, they're all online. As someone who can give most of his success to the offline scene, what do you think we need next?
In
What do you,
terms of an offline event,
yeah, I guess as an offline event, what do you think would be the ultimate ultimatum? I mean, we've obviously got another online exclusive. Do you think an offline would be strategically possible after COVID?
yes, hell yes, I believe so. I mean, I think we've worked hard, like as a community, and like everybody who puts in the work. Or not like I wouldn't like to say it's work because we love to do it, and that's what it
Yeah,
is. That like or basically like I would like to say I'm a part of the people who tried to build the community.
definitely.
And like all these WhatsApp groups we got going now, we got things that are happening weekly. And we trying like our absolute best to let people know, and it's worked. Like
Really has.
CGL is not a small organization, and they have made an like online event for us specifically, like AF, like Africa. That's like incredible. That's amazing. You
Combat
know,
Africa boys.
Combat Africa,
Fuck
boys.
yes, I know. I'm so stoked. It's so
Yeah,
so awesome. That
yeah.
was kind of I guess a segue into the competing in NRS things. And
Hmm.
these competitions obviously have prize pools, and people obviously enter, and for some of them it's a good incentive. But what was your favorite prize that you won competing in NRS games? I have a little Sub Zero. He's packed away because I'm moving. Um,
Okay.
I have a little Sub Zero, and I keep him with me as a little reminder that every day how much I hate that character. But he's my. I had my favorite thing that I won was I had a big cardboard cutout of Sub Zero. It was like it's gigantic. I had it in my room. It was fucking huge. I gave it to Para. I think Para still got it. But what was
Okay.
your favorite prize?
My favorite prize. Honestly, like the prizes are they are amazing. Like obviously, if you get like money and stuff, like who doesn't love that stuff.
Sure.
But I think the things that I treasure the most is like when we had like MKX Cup,
Yeah.
they would give you like these lanyards with your gamer tag on it.
Dude, that's so
Um,
crazy. I forgot mine
and
still.
that's so that's like one of my favorite things that I own. My T-shirt, like my MKX T-shirt that says Shokan at the back,
Yeah.
that's like one of my favorite things that I own. And that wasn't stuff that was necessarily earned, but it was I'm a competitor,
Yeah.
and that stuff's really special to me. Like the prizes and stuff, don't get me wrong, they are amazing, and you can do so much with them. But I think like sentimental value, like the T-shirt and like the Injustice hoodies and stuff,
Yeah.
and like the MKX like beanie and stuff, like those things mean so much to me. Like that
Dude.
I own them, and
Yeah.
like I have an Injustice T-shirt that has my name at the back. I have an MKX T-shirt that has my name at the back, and those things are like my most prized
Dude,
possessions.
that is like the
Just those
fucking
things.
perfect answer. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even say anything better. Like, that's literally, if I had to say the same thing, it's like, yeah, I've got. It was funny because I was obviously packing away stuff and fucking pulled out my they gave us like MKX head banners and like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have that. I brought those with because I mean that
I've
was like
got that still. Yeah.
maybe one day when things are different, I'll be able to look back on that and be like, dude, that's so cool. And it's got Schultzable, and I'm like, fuck, I've had this
It's
name
got
for
your
so
name on
long.
it.
Still gets fucked up. So
Yeah,
everyone that's
it's
listening to
just a
this,
whole
it's
thing. Yeah.
Schultzable, not Schultzable, not not Schultzable. It's Schultzable, Schultzable.
Shells the wall.
Moving on. Um, talking about people that's competing now. This is something that me and you spoke about. Was new players getting into the competitive side of this game, like drawing the line of like when it's not fun anymore. Now it's actually you're doing it in a competitive nature, but you're still having fun. Don't get me wrong. How
Mm-hmm.
how did you learn to handle your nerves and competing on an international level, especially when you went to Sweden in 2017? Because I know that that
Mm-hmm.
must have been hectic for the nerves. How have you learnt, and what would your advice be to new people getting into the competitive side as like some couple guidelines?
Mm-hmm. Um, I think like number one, without a doubt for me, is like I've always been like a big believer of being prepared.
Yeah,
Um, so that's not to mean like obviously the nerves are still gonna get to you, but I feel like if you're well prepared or you're like really well prepared at like okay, like you know who you're gonna fight, or maybe even if you don't know who you're gonna fight, but you know, okay, like these are the characters I'm expecting to see because these characters are busted and I know what they can do and I know how to deal with them,
yeah,
right? Like my number one thing is like being prepared for like um, a tournament or like a certain set of characters that you believe are overpowered, so to speak.
yeah, yeah,
Like I think that helps the most. And then the other thing is like, look, at the end of the day, like you play this game because you have a lot of fun doing it, you
yeah,
know? So just like go in, like remember all the stuff that you practiced, and like whatever you learned and whatnot, and just give a good representation of all that work that you put in, you know. But the I guess the underlining point is like, or the underlying point is like, you play these games because you have fun doing that, and that's what you should be doing.
yeah,
Competing should be fun. It shouldn't be like, oh shit, like I lost, like I need to get better. It should be more like, oh shit, like I lost, like this is where I can improve, this is where I can improve, okay, let's get it, you know.
yeah,
Like that should be the mindset. Like I know it's one of those things where like you want to win, everybody wants to win,
yeah,
but if you lose your passion for it like along the way, then there's not going to be anything for you to grind for because you're just doing it for, I guess, in a competitive sense, the money,
yeah,
which there's obviously not much of over here.
yeah.
Um, but like there has to be something stronger than that that drives you to want to compete or want to be good at these games, you know?
Very, very wise
Um,
words, my dude. That's exactly what I think many people might lose faith on. But yeah,
mhm.
that's a very good staple. Remember to get good, but also remember to get good for yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. Uh,
I mean, you gotta have fun, right? That's why we play these games because we
yeah,
we have fun playing them. Like the best memories we have.
definitely some of the fondest for me, my man. I've met some amazing
Mhm.
people. Talking about people and their names, I mean, we've got some really awesome names through our FGC at the moment, and I always love that because I remember when
Mhm.
this is fanboying a little bit, I guess, but when I heard art department's name, I was like, dude, that is such a fucking smart name. And I was like, why did I never come up with a cool name? So mine's really boring. I just got mine from PlayStation Network and like I said, random name. And I was like, oh, Sheldsable. Cool, I'll take that. So question number 5 is where does the gamer tag Shokan come from?
Oh, okay. So this is kind of a two-part answer.
Sure.
Um, so basically, remember I told you about the history that I had as like a kid with like my brother's friends and my brother, and like we became best friends and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And basically, like because I was always the smallest, they would call me Shorty, you know.
Okay.
So they would like try and make it sound cool and stuff like Shorty, you know, and like try and like make it seem cool, even though it was a cuck ass name, because I was like the smallest one in the room, like all of the time or most of the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyway that's how they came up with it, and and then I just couldn't think of anything else but the fact that like my origin comes from this word, and show is just it's me. Like at this point, you know, like show has always been me,
Yeah.
and then like the second part to it, so it was just show initially, right? It
Yes.
was just SHO, and then the second part to it is like we obviously competed, you know, in a ton of locals, like
You're gonna say
the
the
stuff
one
that
ash
happened.
one.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
reading
the
your
one.
mind,
That's the
aren't
one.
I? Yeah, I thought it was
You
that.
are, you are.
Dude, I'm
So
so stoked I
basically,
remember, dude.
yeah, that is very cool.
Well,
So
tell the
basically, we
people
had
because
like
they don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, we had like a bunch of like offline locals, and then there was this one they had at Monash campus, and basically I was taking names, bro. Like I was just winning, and like I was pretty good, and I forget who it was, but some guy was like, dude, like, um, aren't you now like the Kahn of like South Africa, bro? Like nobody can beat you. And then I was like,
I'm pretty sure it
and
was
then he
Yummy or
said like
some guy.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was one of them. I
yeah.
forget. And then that stuck with me. And then I was like, okay, these guys said I'm like Show Khan, and like I was like, yeah, like I have worked really hard, and like now I want to be at the top, and that's how I came. So it's like Show Khan, and that's how it happened.
Dude, there's nothing cooler than a fucking community giving you a name. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
They were like,
that's
you are
exactly
the
what
Khan of
happened.
Africa, the OG Khan. And that plays so well.
Yeah.
We're going into a couple bonus questions. These are quick fire ones for you. Um, would you rather, if aliens were to make first contact, would you rather they be robotic or organic?
I'm gonna say organic.
Okay. Rather be like, I guess, of the same kind of human or, I guess, tissue.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as long as it's like, because if you say robotic, then
AI.
that kind of means that it's man-made, I
Yeah.
guess. So
Yeah.
not that, yeah, not that, yeah.
Cool.
So organic would be probably
Organic
cooler.
is it. Okay. If coffee was illegal, what would its street name be?
If coffee was illegal.
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought about this myself. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to name it. I've got a name. It's lame, but go ahead. Think of you going.
uh, wow, I don't know. I was gonna say beans, but that sounds dumb.
There we go. You got some beans? Mine was going to be like, got any brown sand?
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. It's kind of dad joke like, but
It
it's
is. It's
funny.
super dad joke. So we reached the
It's
halfway
funny.
mark of our show. For those who don't know, my name is Sholzable, and today we are joined by Shokan. You can see his plugs over here. There's the man's name. His Twitch is over there. Please go follow him. He does do awesome streams, and the man is also on Combat Africa on the FGC Africa channel. The man is commentating, doing legit shit. You got to go see, and he's also going to be competing in the CGL tournament on Friday. I saw you signed up on Twitter, so let's go in that one. Also, the man's got an
Definitely.
awesome
I'll be there.
Twitter.
I'll be
He's
there.
also promoting the African boys all the time. Please, if you're not following him, follow him now at Shokreed
Already
Reed.
appreciate it.
And my plugs are obviously above. If you're watching the YouTube, it's there. Sheldable. I don't think that's my actual like / on YouTube, but just search me. There's no one else named Sheldable, so that's fine. And I'm on Twitter at the exact same handle. And for those who have just tuned in, there's obviously the video format on YouTube, but I've also got a podcast for those who want to listen to it, and it's on anchor.fm / Sheldable. And on Spotify if you guys have got it. Talking about plugs, for those who are in the chat, I see all of you. Let me say what's up. To everyone that's joined, quite a few of you guys, thank you guys for all pulling through. As is every interview, please drop your questions in the chat. I will ask them at the end. They can be anything you want. Please go ahead. No holds bar here. This is we play a game where we chop each other's heads off. So
Facts.
it's not going to be. There's no holds bar. If you got any questions you want to ask the man himself, please at Sheldable in the chat or at Show in the chat, and I will ask them at the end of the stream. So wait at the end there. Hitbox 5000, Zing, Art Department, Aki Slay, Lebo, Para, Donovan, Kevin, my wife. Not Kevin, my wife, but my actual wife. I see Bilal, Tando. I see all of you guys. Thank you so much for pulling through. Hey, Met5 Bio, Met Fabio, I see you, my dude. Thank you guys for pulling through. We're moving on to the second half of the interview. It's really nice to see you guys, all of that. Zeng, I see your question. I will ask it. Just at me there, please, so I remember at the end. Cool. Moving on to question number 6 on the second half of our interview, my dude. If you could take this mainstream and specifically play games as your 9 to 5, would it be fighting games Or is there another secret love out there that you'd rather be competing in professionally?
I
Yeah.
think I think some people probably know this already, but
Some might not know.
definitely my love for fighting games is not going to change. Like that always will be my first love, like always for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Um, but I have started recently playing a little bit of shooters. Apex in specific, like being specific,
Yeah.
Apex Legends.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't even say at this point that it's a guilty pleasure of mine because it's not. I'm not guilty about it. Like I don't feel guilty about it. Like I love the game and I want to get good at the game. It's I guess it's like one of those things. Like I believe I was telling you, like I play with like my best friend ACF. People might know him, the Catwoman guy from like Injustice Two
Brandon and
Days.
Brandon, hey?
Brandon and Brandon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, like I initially picked up the game, like Apex, like the battle royale, as a way to just like keep in contact with like my best friends, you know, and kind of just touch base with them every now and again, make sure they're all doing good because we couldn't see each other for like quite some time.
Yeah.
And even before like the pandemic and that type of thing, like it was still very difficult because everybody has their own lives, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, okay, like let's meet up this weekend. Okay, this one's got like some plans with like his wife, and this one's going away, and so you know there was barely ever any time where we could all do stuff together.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there would always be somebody missing, you know,
Yeah.
if we had done stuff, and that was like I think the problem. And then I was like, look, like I just downloaded this game, guys. I think it's cool. You guys need to download it. Like
Yeah.
let's play together and we you know we'll
Free.
just have
Let's
some
get in
fun.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I thought that was a cool way to because we love video games, so we would be spending time doing that, but at the same time fixing like you know getting our social fixes from each other, you know, and
Yeah.
seeing how everybody's doing and you know catching up with everyone. And so it started off like that, and then like I kept playing because obviously everybody, all of us were playing,
Yeah.
you know, and then we just kept dying like over and over and over, and I was like, bro, we suck at this game like so bad, like we are terrible, like we suck, we can't beat anybody,
Yeah.
and so I was like, no, like I don't suck at video games, bro. That's not me.
Yeah, it's
So
not my life.
I'm
That's not what I do.
that's not what I do. So I'm gonna get good no matter what. And like that's the type of person that I am, I think, because the competitive nature I have towards video games
Yeah.
is like I always want to be better. I always want to be better. And so like Apex came along, I'm like, okay, now you got this new game now, but you still got to keep up with your fighting games, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so now it's like this balancing type of thing. But I wouldn't, to answer your question, yeah, I wouldn't just play fighting games. I would like to be a variety streamer if it came to the like I could do it as a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I would love to be a variety streamer,
That's very
and I
cool.
honestly think I could be good at any game if I put enough time into it. So that is what I believe.
Great answer, my guy. All right, moving on to question number 7. This is a staple in every single one because I love to promote the boys and I love for our boys to promote the boys and the girls. Who is your favorite African player at the moment? Only one.
Only one.
Only one.
Oh, for
Uno.
real?
You got to give one shout out to one player that you've been really hyped about at the moment. Only one. Who?
Oh, only one. Damn, that's hard. That's hard.
And don't
We've
give
got
me
so
the
many,
don't give me the these
so many
three
strong
wada.
people.
Yeah, it's not how this works.
There's so many strong players in the community. Like
Go.
now, it's crazy. Do you mean like my favorite player in terms of like who do I think is the best, or who do I
No.
love to watch?
Who's your favorite to watch at the moment?
Who's my favorite to watch at the
Yeah,
moment?
who's your favorite? Not your favorite. It's who's your favorite to watch at the moment. Who's hyping you up? Who's someone that you need to be watching? Not who's the best. That's not what the question is.
Okay, okay. My favorite player to watch would probably be Killjoy.
Yeah. Cool.
He's my favorite player to watch. Yeah.
Cool. Why is that?
He's he's uh he's just super clean, dude. Like we also became like pretty close, like over the past few months as well. Like obviously playing the game and stuff together,
Yeah.
like practicing and speaking about our ideas and all that kind of stuff. And like he's honestly the player that I feel is closest to me in terms of how I play and thinks how I think
Okay.
when it comes to competing.
Yeah.
And so I think we really see eye to eye when it comes to the game, and fundamentals and how you play the game. And so like I just love watching him. He's super clean, like play, like just like everything. Like he's got the wolf punishes, he's
Yeah.
got the combos, he plays a bunch of different characters, so you never like it's never like okay, he's gonna play this one same boring character. Like he's not like that either. He likes to try and experiment with characters, and he's just super fun to watch, just super clean. And I love watching clean gameplay. That's like my favorite thing.
Definitely. That's a great answer. Moving on to question number 8. Now, I wrote this question before I saw you sign up for CGL, but
Okay.
let's kind of base it off. We didn't know. Okay, so
Okay. Yeah.
the question basically was, when were you coming back to Combat Africa? Now, for those who don't know, Shaw is currently on a hiatus. He's not been competing a lot in the Combat Africa scene. Yesterday we spoke about when the scene grew from South Africa for us to include, sub-Saharan Africa being Zambia, Zim, Mozambique, Namibia. I don't know if we got everyone from those regions, but I've seen a couple go around.
Hmm.
You you felt like the competition level shot through the roof when we
Yeah,
started
yeah.
including them. Now these other African boys are really leveling up. Now, are you leveling up in the background for the great comeback, or are you just taking it day by day?
To be honest with you, I'm taking it day by day. I think I had a bit of a weird experience on it was a Koth, the Prince Panther Koth.
Yeah,
If you remember that they were like, look, get Africans in here, let's go,
yeah,
let's go, let's go. And I hadn't been putting in time for anything because for some reason or the other, like our community is just like everybody's really good and really helpful and that kind of stuff, and we can be toxic and stuff, but in a funny way, it's kind of the humor of the FGC,
yeah,
is
yeah,
that people are toxic and that type of thing, and it's funny.
yeah,
But like basically when there's only something on the line, in my experience anyway, that's the only time people are trying to get good. They're trying
yeah.
to get really good. They're trying to like they're making a conscious effort to level up is when something is coming up.
Mm,
Like we have a tournament or there's a new ACGL season or somebody's hosting something, and that's where it became hard for me because it's like I do love these games, but also I guess just like anybody else, life happens, and it's like you
yeah,
don't have enough time for the game, and you're doing this, and like a lot of people also had that kind of thing, and I was just playing Apex, because like I had a consistent group of people that I was playing with all the time,
yeah,
and that would make it fun and interesting, and so I'd want to play Apex over MK because um, there were consistently people playing Apex, or I could just message Brandon, and he'd be more like, dude, are you on? Let's hop, and then we like hop on Apex and we
yeah.
just grind it out, like get some kills or whatever. And so I'm just taking it day by day. I do want to get back to the point where I'm being super competitive as well.
Mm-hmm,
But after that experience of the Prince Panther Koth, like I hadn't experienced that level of nerves
mm-hmm,
since the last time I went like overseas, which was like Sweden.
yeah,
So that says a lot about the community that's here now, how strong the players are here now, how much potential
definitely.
we have is ridiculous. So
Appreciate
yes, I
that
would like to
honesty,
get back
mate.
to it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I will get back to it. It's just a little bit of a mental thing as well. Like the hiatus wasn't just because like look, this game is trash, whatever, whatever, whatever. I love the game and I think it's a really balanced game as well. But there are things that infuriate me and I get super annoyed
I
about,
bet.
and there's nothing I can do about it. There's
Yeah,
nothing I can do about it. So you just gotta find a way to like work around it, I guess.
dude, that was
Um,
that was a fucking great answer. Yeah,
but but yeah, so it's one of those things. I would like to get back to it, but um, I think I do need to put in more time. I think
great.
I do need to put in more time. I've found love in other games as well,
Yeah.
like I said now. So
Well, I'm wishing
there
you the
is
best. Wishing you for the best for that. I'm looking forward to the return, and I'll be backing you, my
Me
dude.
too. Thanks,
Um,
man. Really appreciate it.
yeah, of course. Question number 9 on the, I guess I call it the end game, is what I call al personnel. So this is our staple question. It's to find out more about you, and what it's a four-parter. So just give me your flat answers straight as they come off your head. What's your favorite movies at the moment, or of all time? You can list a couple if you want.
You want me to list them now?
Yeah, go ahead. Favorite movies.
Okay. My favorite movies are I love It. I love Nightmare on Elm Street, the newer one, and the older ones actually. I love the older ones as
Yeah.
well. Um, my favorite type of movies are generally animation movies, to be honest with you. Like my most favorite movie of all time is probably like Toy Story, I
Toy
think. For
Story.
being honest,
Yeah,
for
fuck
being
yeah.
completely honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones I can think of right now. I do really like movies. I just it is I sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time because I could
Yeah.
be playing video games.
Fair,
So
fair.
yeah.
So, favorite shows, favorite series that you've been watching at any point in time?
I'm a big fan of anime.
Yeah. Any
So like
favorite
right
animes you can
now,
shout out?
yeah, like Shokugeki no Soma is my favorite anime, like I think pretty much of all time at this point. It's
Okay.
about food, funny enough.
What? Well,
Yeah.
that's perfect segue to the next question. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. This is it's an easy one. I love Asian cuisine like the most, more than anything.
Okay.
Like Chinese, Japanese, Thai food. Like those are my favorite foods, like of all time.
And I already know your favorite music, but for the people that don't know, what's your favorite music?
um, I actually do love old music. Now I think I've grown a little bit,
Yeah.
but like rock slash metalcore, all those
Metalcore.
things, you know.
Yeah. Guys, I
Yeah, yeah.
love. Guys, I love
Those,
listening to you guys' metalcore bands that you guys are showing at the
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll always be number one in my heart. But I have a guilty pleasure of video game music, which I love. Like I can fall asleep to it. Like
Dude,
like
it's
Sonic the Hedgehog, like
yeah.
the soundtrack, like
I listen.
Contra.
I listen to Final Fantasy
Like,
9, like the
Final
album,
Fantasy also is godlike.
for like
Yeah,
no reason at all. I just put that on sometimes. Yeah, guilty pleasure.
yeah. It's just
Look,
it's
everyone's got
like
a guilty
that's
pleasure. I
pleasure.
found out that Killjoy, he loves plenty rock bands. He loves a couple rap artists, and then he dropped the fucking hottest take on me. He's like, I love Taylor Swift, and I was like, what?
Oh, I love Taylor Swift too.
Dude, another Swiftie. I was like, where are you guys coming from? Out of the woodworks. I'm like, I haven't even to be fair, I haven't even given her a chance. So I
Taylor
take
Swift is a
notes.
treasure,
I
buddy.
take notes
She's
from
a
everyone.
treasure, bro.
Shout outs to Killjoy for surprising me. Cool. So we're moving on to the final question before we get into the MK fire quiz, which, as you know, is part of I guess my competitive part of the interview, so that you can get yourself onto the scoreboard. So question number 10 is kind of something we spoke about already, but it's something I would like to elaborate more on because it's something that me and you have, I guess, shared in the same way.
Hmm.
Is we spoke about the community as a whole, about
Yeah.
the love for the players and everyone's different walk of lives, you know, catching up with your fellow players or catching up with your friends on a game. You'll chat over voice chat, and you can be a testament that playing fighting games can give you opportunities that you might only dream of. What, in your opinion, makes the African FGC so tight and close to the heart? Because I feel it too. I mean, this podcast is one of the reasons why I love the scene and I want to promote the players within it. So, what do you think makes the African FGC so tight and close to the heart?
Mm, I think it goes back to the other thing as well. I think that we spoke about before,
Yeah.
where it was like we all have this common interest,
Mm.
in this now in this case like NRS fighting games,
Yeah.
and that's what keeps the community together, dude. Like our love for this game is crazy, and everybody is doing so much, dude. Like to promote it, promote the players, and there's a lot of people as well that like I've come in contact with or that have contacted me, and they're like, "Look, dude, like, how do I get better? What do I need to do?" And like that's the type of people that I love,
Yeah.
where it's like, look, you want to get better. I'm gonna help you get better
Yeah.
because you have so much like passion for this game, and you asking me how do I do this or what do I do here, all that type of stuff. And that's the main thing for me, is like that I can go in the FGC group and be more like, look, who knows how to deal with this? Or how do I deal with this? Somebody will come up with an answer for you. And everybody's just hella fun and like toxic at the same time, but fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like we talk shit, we have a good time, and like I think a lot of people in the group like became my friends through these fighting games that I never would have met.
Yeah.
Somebody like Chimba, like you're saying, like Killjoy, he's such a cool, honest guy, and like if you speak to him about the game, he knows his shit. But on top of that, like you make a new friend that
Mm.
you never thought you would have made, and you get close and bond over stupid things like both liking Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
and it's really cool. Like people like Muchi as well, Cortex,
Yeah.
he's also like a super cool guy. And then like I started liking shooters, and then he had like a bit of a history with competitive shooter games, and then like we shared the love for that, but we still love fighting games, and we still like also friends at the same time, and we kind of click, and it's really cool. People
Yeah.
like Para, who's like all about the movies and stuff, and it'd be more like, oh, this is not canon, or bro,
Yeah.
you gotta big something little Chow China or what, just something like it. He's a little
Yeah.
that MK movie apparently that was like based off a lot of that stuff.
Yes,
And he's
yes.
just like so cool with like all the older stuff, and he'll tell you all about Bruce Lee and shit, and that's just super
There's
interesting.
different walks of
Uh,
life, and everyone brings in
yeah,
something different, dude. And
so
that's
much.
that's what
Yeah,
makes
so
it
much. It's
so.
crazy.
And I feel like, at least from my understanding, obviously it's the only community that I've been a part of, obviously fight or gaming wise, and I always thought it was so cool to see everyone bring something in different, and their different walk of life would give them a different opinion. And you guys will debate shit on the group, but at the end of the day, majority of the guys, if you had to say to them, "You guys, I'm feeling real down at the moment," 9 times out of 10, all of them would lift you back up. The
Very
humbling
good.
support within our community, although we love to be toxic as a joke, is
Hmm.
incredible, incredible.
Yeah,
I fucking
definitely.
love it.
I mean, it's like now that you mentioned that, it's funny because like we'll have like KA or something this week, and somebody will get clapped. Somebody will get beaten up badly, bro,
Yeah.
and you'll just see chat and stuff, and people will be saying this is kinda, but
Kinda, I
then
love that. I didn't understand it until I fucking like read in the geek. I was like, oh, he's saying he's kind of free.
yeah, so like people will say stuff like that, and then the homies will hit you up like immediately, bro. They'll be more like, "Look, dude, like you played really well, like GG's to both of you," and it's nothing but love, dude.
Yeah,
Even though like it's just meant to be dark humor, is what it is, and I love it.
yeah,
But you're right, like when you're actually not feeling the best, you could probably pop in that group and be more like, "Look, guys, you know what? I'm not okay, whatever, whatever." Like, you're right. Like 9 times, I can even say 10 times out of 10,
yeah,
like everybody's gonna be behind you, supporting
yeah.
you.
Dude, that is a great segue into the end of our first to 10. For those who are looking to join the FGC, do it. That's what my podcast is about. Is to obviously learn more about the African players, see where they come from, and see what actually makes these people stick around. Because
Hmm.
you think it's getting good at the game, but I would say 50% of the time is the community. Is you stay for the game, but you also stay for the community, and at least that's what I can vouch for. Um,
Definitely.
before I get into the MK trivia questions for the end of the game, don't forget to do the socials and platforms. If you guys haven't already, drop the live chat, drop a like
Do
on
the
the
things,
video.
do the thing.
I guess put the notification live thingy, whatever, on the notification bell, so you get a ping when I go live. I guess some people do that. You don't have to, but if you do, I only do this, so you'll get this. So let's have a chat. Let's have a look at chat, I should say. To have a look at some questions for you, and let's have a look at everyone's had to say. Obviously, we had a couple firsts. Um, yes, big shout outs to Level for doing our commentary on CGL on Friday. He's going to represent the Africa
Big,
boys.
big things. Big
Yes,
things.
great
Let's
big
go.
things. And best thing, he's gonna be able to give history of the boys. The guys,
Hmm.
everyone's history, because obviously he knows everyone.
Hmm.
Um, I see. Isn't that team Gematrix? Is it Chloe? Eh?
Cholwe. I think it's
Cholwe.
Cholwe.
See, I'm saying
Yeah,
it wrong already. Cholwe, isn't she part of team Gematrix? Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
That's
that's right.
right. I
The
also
homie, the homie.
thank yes, the homie. Shout outs for the love. I see you saying you love the series. Thank you so much, Cholwe. I love your work too. And actually, you need to come onto my show, so we need to speak if you're still here. Um, Art and King of Fighters. Obviously, yeah, guys, giving you shout outs to the love for the old games. The Art of
Oh,
Fighting, the
nice, nice,
King of
nice. I'm
Fighting.
glad to hear.
Zing saying much love for the rock up to the Monash squad. And everyone's saying that they remember Monash. Me and Para's first moments, because I can't get this wrong all the time, was we obviously met on Steam, and our first time that we met in person was at the Monash tournament.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought you guys kind of go way back for some reason. I don't know why I thought that.
we do, but we were like a year before. I want to say a year before that, but we were only on Steam. We met literally, when you go like find online ranked.
Hmm.
That's how me and Para met. Was I met
Okay.
and I saw our ping was really good, so I added him on Steam, or he added me, and Bob's your uncle, man.
Hmm.
Friends for life.
Yeah, Bob's your uncle.
So Kevin said a little reminder was it was your Sub-Zero in MKX that knocked me out of that tourney in Josie. There is beef. My Kang is ready. There will be blood. So someone's already Kevin's already giving you shit.
I'm down. I'm down. I take any and all challenges. I'm
So
down.
Kevin's got a bit of salt, so you got to remember that for when you
Hmm.
come back.
Hmm.
Donovan is saying that I had a bath and a shave. Bang! I did have a haircut and I did trim my beard. Thanks, my guy. Um, oh yes, Charles, I still have that MKX beanie you gave me at the tourney for flying through to Josie from PE. I did. I gave the man a beanie. I was like, you made some efforts. I was like, bruh, you made. And that's always one of my favorite. That's another favorite story of mine is for, people that are on the show have heard me say this many a time. But Kevin messaged me on Facebook and was like, I want to come to your guys' tournament. I want to fly out from PE. Can I stay with you? And I was like, who's this fucker just randomly asking me if he can come stay with me? He was like, I'll get a hotel, but like, could you give me a ride or whatever? And I picked him up from the airport. I took him straight to the tournament, and we were instant bros. I said to him, come, we're going to go have a bra at my parents' house. And that's exactly what he did.
That's OD.
Mates for life. Kev, hope you're enjoying your graph today, my guy. If you can't deal with zoning, easy clap, says Bilal. Uh,
Facts.
Donovan says a bromance is brewing between us.
Facts. Also,
We go way back, bro.
we go way back, buddy. It's what it is.
It is green. Zeng said he wants to meet green aliens for the question that was happening there. Okay, yeah. So here was the question. So I need to ask you about the reset grand final versus LSG. LSG is still shook at how you adapted. Do you remember this?
I do. I do remember this. I do remember this.
Couple
Um,
words on it.
it was damn, big shout out to LSG, bro, the OG squad back in the day, bro. The West and all of you guys, bro. You guys were OD. Um, the grand finals, I believe he was playing Jax and I was
Yeah,
playing sub,
must be.
if I remember
And
correctly.
you obviously reset it and won it.
Hmm. So I think the main thing was you were kind of just dealing with the basically with the clone by like he changed variation, I think. So Jax had the one where he had the machine guns, I believe, and that one was kind of just blowing up my clones,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just basically slowed it down. And then as soon as I put him to the corner, I was playing super cheap. I just mixed up, and MKX, it's just like 50-50, 50%, 50-50, 50%.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like
Yeah.
I slowed it down a lot because you see, like if I talk about MKX, it's gonna be a whole long story if I go into the matchup and all that stuff. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
That's fair. We got a couple ones that we need to get through here quickly. So, Bilal asks if you could, which fighter do you hate playing the most?
Which fighter? Is that which player or which character?
Sorry. Which character you hate fighting the most, and player. So you need to name
And player.
who do you hate fighting the most at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
or who do you have a difficulty fighting, I guess, and which character do you hate? Two, go quick.
Um, I hate fighting against Scorpion. Scorpion
Scorpion.
is mad annoying. The character
Yeah.
is just stupid annoying.
And who's the
Um,
player that's giving you grief at the moment?
and the player who's giving me grief is Z. Like, bro, like Fujin just fucking runs all over the screen and shit, bro. You can't do anything about it, and then you still have to play neutral on top of this, bro.
Come
And
down,
he can,
footsies, grab, cancel.
bro,
Fuck, it's so
bro, he can
irritating.
launch you from like full screen now, bro. That actually change that to Fujin and Z. Make that both his fucking stupid ass character.
So Kevin's question kind of goes into the same thing. Which character would you remove from MK11? Only one.
Jackie Briggs.
There it is.
Actually, I don't mind Jackie. I just think upgraded should be tossed out of the game. Just throw the whole variation away.
You really
Like
don't like it,
Jackie's
eh?
fine. Yeah, I don't understand why. Because you see, my main problem with Jackie is that jumps in MK11 are already so strong. Like you can even, I'm sure you can like be with me on this one. In
Yeah, yeah.
MKX, I could anti-air 9 times out of 10 in MKX,
Yeah.
and like you guys have probably seen me do that. Like people wouldn't jump on me in MKX,
Yeah, I
but in
remember.
MK11, it's like you just get jumped on, and jumps are overpowered. Now on top of that, she has this move that she can basically stay in the air, and then you have to take a mix up, and then you have to still guess whether you should anti-air or not, and then she can just do it again, and she can do it again, and it's retarded. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't like it. It's dumb.
Yeah, fair
Her and
enough.
Fujin are not playing MK11 at this point in time, bro. They are playing something else.
Well
I'm
done,
serious.
guys. See, this is why you made the man go and I just checking him, making him rage. Two more
Bro.
shout outs from the chat. Saying thanks for all the comments, and obviously I fucked up Galway's name. Fuck. I tend to do that when I don't read things properly. Hey, Para dropping some facts that you met me, that he met you at my house when we had a local.
That's right. That's right.
How's about that?
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
that's it from chat. Everyone that dropped some questions and interacted with the podcast, thank you so much. Appreciate you all. You're amazing. So we are at the end, my guy. This is my favorite part because this is the competitive part. We have got. I guess we could get a better name for it, but I call it the MK Trivia Speedfire round.
Sounds pretty hype to me.
It sounds pretty good. If you got a better suggestion, let me know in the chat, I guess. The rules are simple. You have 5 to 10 seconds to answer. That's it. Which means you can Google if you're quick enough. I don't know how more like times I need to say it to people, but they don't do it. So you up to you. It's out of 7.
I feel like I'd be cheating then,
Yeah,
because
okay.
like
It's out of 7.
let me just try and answer it. Let me just try and answer it.
Yeah, it's out of 7 this time. The other ones have been out of 6 for those who are following, meaning there's a bonus point now available. And this comes in with the secret fight, okay? Because I've been wanting to get Kahn on here for ages, and he is like my little reptile that you unlock on MK2 on the bridge doing double flawless, and you know you're my unlocked character. So there's a bonus point available for you today, which means that 2 questions are out of 2. Okay, so just remember that. There's only 5 questions, but 2 of them are out of 2. The scoreboard, as it stands, is Charlie Wolf is sitting on top with 5 out of 6. Killjoy, second, with 4 out of 6. King of the North, 3 out of 6. Art Department is tied with third with 3 out of 6. I don't know why I didn't put his score in properly, but I know it was 3 out of 6 because I did say third there. And Z is sitting with the fat donut at the bottom with, with a 2 out of 6. Okay. Which means you are the first person to have an opportunity to shoot up the leaderboard to either tie with Charlie Wolf or which I will kind of only do on the 6th episode. Some of the people will understand that reference for MK2. It's kind of a hidden meta. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So the first three questions are from art department. His first question is: are you ready? Okay. Kahn has created 3 people in Mortal Kombat. Not you, the actual Shao Kahn. Who are they?
Has created 3 people in Mortal Kombat. One is gonna be Melina.
Yeah.
The second one is gonna be Reptile.
Close.
Reptile?
No. Close. Green. Oh.
Chameleon. He's
No.
created Chameleon.
Maybe.
No?
I don't think so.
We
We might have to fact check this. Fuck. Okay. 5,
Melina. I would suggest
3, 2, 1.
Almec. I don't
Oh,
know.
you got
Almec.
it. You got it. Okay. Well done. So that question was out of 2. If you got all 3, you got all 2, and you luckily just got it in time for Ermac. Ermac, Melina, and Scarlet.
I knew it was one of the ninjas. And Scarlet. I didn't know about Scarlet though, actually.
Scarlet, yeah. Okay, so
That's interesting.
This one's a trick question. Careful.
Okay.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was the follow-up to Mortal Kombat 3. But what was the follow-up to MK4?
Mortal Kombat Mythologies.
Unfortunately, that's not right. It's MK Gold.
For real?
For
Wasn't
real.
that like on Nintendo or some shit?
It was. It was on Sega. So MK4 came out.
Sega,
I
bro.
think.
What the?
Or Genesis. Let me say Genesis. Yeah, MK Gold
No,
was
yeah,
the
that was
follow-up.
right.
Yeah.
Mythologies was PS1. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
It's all right. It's all right. You're still in it. Okay. Argus and Delia had 3 children. This is art department being a real dickhead. What are their names?
Wow, buddy. What? August and who?
Argus and Delia? Yeah, that's it. What are their names? You can get well, this one's not out of 2. So if you lose a point, you're not losing one here much.
Those sound like Edenian names.
Yes,
so I'm gonna say Tanya. Tanya?
No, they are. One of them is Edenian. I know that one of them is Edenian. So, well, they have to be. They have to all be Edenian, wouldn't they be? I know the last one's definitely Edenian.
Damn.
I'm gonna count you down. Sorry. 5, 4.
Bro,
3,
what kind of questions
2,
are these?
1. The answer is Taven, Dagon, and Rain.
Rain! I was gonna say Rain, but then I thought they wouldn't name their kid Rain. I thought he had a proper name.
Yeah, it's like they give like David, Tagan, August, Delia, and Rain. Okay, now onto my questions, which will be a little bit easier. And one of these is out of 2 points, so you have a chance to get 5. You'd be able to get to 4 if you get all of these right. Let's see. Yeah, Z in the chat with Rain. Yeah, he got it. He got Melina and Ermac as well. Hey, LSG's just popped up.
Yo, what's good? Big shout outs to my homeboy LSG. What's good, buddy?
Yeah, Chameleon was his own race. Art department dropping down the facts here because the man did
Wow.
fact check himself. So, question number 4 is name 6 MKXL DLC characters.
6
DLC characters.
Alien, Leatherface, Tanya, Predator, Boraicho,
One more.
Jason.
Perfect. I think the only one I extra meant.
These are friendly.
Yeah, you see? I'm nice. Yeah, I am nice. The other 2 that you missed, for those who didn't know, was Trimmer and Triborg.
I probably would have gotten there, but I was just thinking about 6 quickly.
Yeah, I thought you would have. I just had a list, so I thought I would just read the ones that didn't. Anyways, so it's now again on 6 is name 6 kind of finishes. Name 6 kind of finishes in Mortal Kombat. Name 6 finishing moves.
Okay, Fatality.
Yeah.
Animality.
Yeah.
Babality.
Yeah.
Brutality.
Yes.
Friendship.
Yes. Yeah, this is where it
I
gets
want to say mercies. I want to say mercy.
No.
Harakiri.
Yes, that is one of them. Well done.
Let's go.
Well done. That was 2 points. You got the 2 points. The other two that I had written, so you got most of them. The other two that I had wrote down was Quitality and Faction Kill.
Wow, I forgot about faction kills
Of
actually, bro.
course.
Wow.
It's the only one that's not a litty, you know?
Yeah.
Well done. So you got the 2 points there. You got the 1 point there. And that gives you a total of 4 out of 7, which ties you with Killjoy.
Art department, if you're out there, buddy, I hate you right now. I'm just saying.
So Kahn onto the leaderboard with 4 out of 7. Well done, dude. Tied for second. And that's it. You know, all I can... Yeah, so everyone, thanks for tuning in. Before you go, please check out my YouTube for more episodes, and obviously more episodes coming. Please follow me on Twitter at Sheldsable. Ring the notification bell, like the video, subscribe, all that jazz. If you have suggestions, go ahead, DM me. I'm on WhatsApp, Discord. I'm on the lot. Next week, we are looking at having Mark the Shark, aka X-Ray 92, depending on his availability. Please tune in for then. But also, after this, please go check out Fight Club's Scorpion Only tournament, which I'll be commentating. And obviously, many thanks to you, my brother. It's been absolutely fantastic chatting with you again.
Yeah, dude, it's been hella fun. It's been hella fun.
Absolutely.
We're so good to catch up and
Yeah.
speak about those things again, bro. It feels like a long time ago now.
It does, but the nostalgia factor is real. You know, it's been fucking great to have you. Thanks again for taking the time out of your day.
Dude, I'm completely honored, bro. It's been super cool.
Yeah,
super
really
super cool.
appreciate it. So, as in every single episode, I asked for our elder god of today to close out. Shokan, any last words?
Not much, I guess. If you play fighting games, if you are in Africa, reach out to us on the DMs, Twitter, whatever it is that you guys use, whatever social platform. We're on everything, and let's grow this community, dude.
Fuck yeah. On that, let me rock the outro, and we'll see you guys next time.